Welcome to Two Queens and Crystal Things, the podcast where we are on some manifest your life, shift your mind, and raise the consciousness type of shit. I am Mia.
And I am Christy, and you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends.
Hey.
Hey, y'all. Okay, so before we get started, I want to remind you all about our women's retreat, which is scheduled September the 22nd through the 24th. It's in Sawyer, Michigan. For more details, you can go to our website, www.twoqueensandcrystalthings.com, and you can find out more details during registration. Feel free to DM us questions. We've had a couple people ask us questions. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. Get your tickets soon because people have been getting their tickets. And so we only have
this
limited.
Is very limited, and this is an intro price that you are never going to see again.
You won't see it again.
With stuff.
You won't see it again.
We needed to do this for the collective, for our divine feminine vibe tribe. So
yes.
Hit us up, you guys. Check it out.
Check it, and we hope to see you all. So
yes.
Okay, so last week we interviewed Jade Luna. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I always enjoy talking to him. Like, I feel like I learned so much.
Yeah.
Just, and he also brings a different perspective, and when you hear his perspective, it's just like, oh, I never even thought of it that way.
I always enjoy the conversations too. It reminds me that we are that everybody's journey can look different, and we're all working towards the same thing.
Exactly.
Right.
But again, if you all want to schedule a session with him, you all better reach out soon. Like, I just reached out to him to get on his 2024 calendar. So reach out to him at asterianastrology@priest.com. That's the email that you can use, or maybe that's the website. Actually, no, that's the email. But you can email him at that address. So, all right. What are we talking about today?
So, guys, look. Everyone who enters your world and ultimately leaves the world is for purpose, right? So all of these things were preordained. Okay, so there's no coincidences in this world. These preordained meetings or agreements between our souls and other souls, usually are people who are part of your soul tribe, before we even incarnated in this body, came to an agreement of what role we were going to play in each other's life. This is a soul contract. So today, we're going to talk about soul contracts. Now, there's a few different, this is going to be a part of a series.
That's part one.
So this is part one of a series because there are different type of soul contracts. And this is a really important conversation to have right now. So we want to break this down in bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, so soul contracts, I feel like, this word gets tossed around a lot. Soul contracts, twin flames, soulmate, all of that stuff. And so I think it's, everyone's perspective around this is different as it relates to relationships. Me and I were talking about it beforehand. And it's really interesting. I think I've stopped like, oh, that's my soulmate, that's my twin flame. I think I've just gotten to the point where it's like, okay, what lessons am I learning from this person? But I think it's really good to discuss because once you are able to step back and figure out which type of contract you're in with a person, you realize like, oh, okay, so this is not going to be long term. I see that. I peep that. Okay, so soul contracts, they can either be positive. Okay, so sorry about that. So the energy that we're experiencing right now is a time of closure. And so when we are closing out relationships, positive or negative, right, especially those relationship doors that we never believed we'd have to close, we start to naturally ask ourselves, what the hell was this for? And that's actually what I was just saying. Like, what lesson am I to learn from this relationship?
What was this about?
Right. Like, what was the purpose? I know. Like, what was the purpose of this relationship? What was the point of me developing anxiety attacks and crying myself to sleep? Like, I don't understand. And, was it a waste of time? Although, Mia always makes these comments like love is never a waste of time. So I really appreciate that. But honestly, it can be such a painful process.
When you're in the thick of it, you can feel for real. I did all that for this.
Yeah. But then, okay, so we want to come in and we want to provide a more healing perspective. And so maybe this will help someone who is tuning in and listening. So consider the idea that that the relationship is most likely a soul contract. Just off the bat, general GP, there's always something to learn from any of your relationships. Always.
You know, like Christy said, that, you know, soul contracts, we are using the words positive and negative as a way to, as a measurement for how we experience things in the three world. But honestly, it just is.
Right.
But considering where your perspective is, so it can be a positive experience or it could be a negative experience. Regardless, they provide us a chance and an opportunity for growth and expansion.
Okay, so can I ask this question? So whether we experience these relationships to be positive or negative, can you also say that we can make a choice to experience in a more positive way? Or like, oh, what was me?
You always get to choose how it is that you see something, how it is that you perceive something, because that's your choice of perception. So let's just say, you know, if you're in a mentally or, you know, verbally abusive relationship, you can choose to say, this person's just trying to make me grow, when you're in the thick of it. So yeah, you can choose it any way that you want to. But when we think about what is needed for growth, remember we were talking about this earlier, you guys, because Christy asked, she asked me earlier, can you have because we're going to be talking about different types of soul contracts. So in one of them, it can be pretty painful. And she asked, can you have that this type of relationship and it not be painful? And when something is created for your expansion and growth, the way that this world works is that there must be some friction. There has to be something that breaks. And Spirit showed me, like, think about a bird when it's reborn, because these relationships are here to kind of rebirth you. So back to you. So when the birthing process is painful, but when you come out the other side of it, it's the most beautiful thing that you've ever created.
Absolutely.
So you're just recreating or remembering who you are through these relationships. So yes. So basically, soul contracts, guys, let's give ourselves an operational definition here. Our agreements that we make with other souls before we incarnate, before we are born here, in order to support our own spiritual growth.
Yep.
Okay.
So you basically, well, would you also say for soul contracts, because I know that we've talked about this before, that we agree to this stuff, do you also think that we design what's in the soul contracts to benefit us and our soul growth and expansion?
Okay, so this is the fun part. The details are a little sketchy in the contract. So the how is not determined. So we're the ones that determine, like, okay, I really want to learn about love, or I really want to learn about or experience. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You determine the intention.
Okay.
And they agree to that intention. But the how we go about it, the point for point, that's not in the contract.
How you get there.
Yeah. Soul contracts are based on the intention of what you came to learn, not the how you're gonna do it. And that's and that's the adventure part.
That's the fun part.
That's the fun part.
Well, because that's true. Because it's like you were trying to get from point A to point C. You just don't know if you're going to hit the mountains, that route, or if you're going to hit like the flat land where there's nothing to see but, tumbleweed.
Right.
So, all right. So, okay, what if, and it's funny, you actually just talked about this on your post or reel. You were talking about acceptance. Yeah. So, what if, again, this is just being open, listening to what we have to share. What if you came to learn, for instance, example, acceptance? And if you have a soul contract with someone, they may be the trigger to make you feel unaccepted. So the opposite of it's the opposite of so they help to trigger what it is that you need. So this person is making you feel unaccepted, but you wanted to come and learn to be accepted so that you can find your way back to self-acceptance.
Yes.
So it's interesting, you all. Just keep an open mind.
Well, I think so. I think okay. So we're talking about like this soul contracts as a like in general. So they can look all sorts of different ways, but it is widely believed there's three main. Like some people say, oh, there's positive, negative, and neutral. I really believe that the three main type of soul contracts, meaning like the different types, are karmic relationships, soulmate relationships. Remember, soulmates can be platonic or romantic.
Yep.
But we'll get into that later. And twin flame relationships.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is interesting.
The
so
flame
today,
should give you a little hint.
Okay. Ooh, right? Spicy. So today we're going to focus on karmic soul contracts. I feel like a lot of us are dealing with karmic soul contracts right now and understanding like, oh, that's what this is. What the heck is going on and how do I get through this? Why is this happening to me? Once you kind of get past the why is this happening to me and you start to think about it and you actually, instead of saying asking that question of yourself from a wounded place, like why is this happening to me? This is why we're having this conversation. Allow yourself the opportunity to seriously ask yourself, what is happening? And know that this is for me. There is something in this that's for me, and I need to slow down and figure out what this is. So today we're going to talk about the soul contracts. So basically, guys, we're going to do, I don't know, I said it earlier, but it's a 3-part series on those different type of soul contracts. Today we're starting with the karmic soul contract.
So let's get into a karmic soul contract. So the karmic soul contract, it's a soul agreement that involves unfinished business from past lives. Many of us have them. Yeah. So for whatever reason, the relationship we had in the past incarnates or carries its unfinished business and unresolved issues. And so the person that you could actually have this karmic soul contract with, they may or may not be the person that you have the unfinished business with. They can honestly just be the person who agreed to ignite that intention within you.
So it's like, so look, if you believe in or even try to connect with the idea of past lives, just think of a karmic as unresolved issue, unfinished issue, something that you intentionally this is the very important piece of this, you guys. You came incarnated on this earth
at this time.
When we actually even talked about this in the last episode with Jay Luna, that Earth is a school. You came to learn something at school, right? So, in your soul tribe, as you guys are working out who's going to do what, I could have had unfinished business with Christy, but somebody else is saying, okay, I'll be the one to ignite it, so that you can address that with her. So she might not even be the one to ignite me to that intention of whatever that may be. It's something that we did not close the loop on, something that we just didn't finish. Because sometimes you do not complete your contracts.
Sometimes you don't finish the homework.
Sometimes you do not complete your contracts in a lifetime, and guess what that means? You're gonna do it again. So I would say, I think that I definitely have a few people, and one probably in particular that has been a big has been a big trigger. And I know that what I was here to learn, and I don't know if I needed to relearn it or I didn't learn it last time, but I know that the intention that I set that I needed to understand was self-love. So, that's a worthiness issue. So I think me being the emotional person that I am, I have always attracted emotionally unavailable men. Because I didn't learn a lesson.
Ooh, and it's interesting.
I could not get that girl that
when you said that. So for me, my lesson, I believe, is self-worth. And I feel like my 2 previous marriages, especially my first one, taught me that. I mean, of course, there were still some struggles, but he taught me my self-worth. I mean, there was a point where I thought I was just going to die and wither away. And I finally was just like, why am I letting this person do this to me?
And
why?
And you guys think about it when you are, and we're going to get a little bit more into like what a karmic relationship looks like, but when you are in a relationship and you feel, I mean, it's just like, I have exhausted myself, like, and the thing is, you guys, it's so beautiful because really we just want to be seen by the person that we love.
Right.
And seen in whatever way,
supported,
we feel like we
heard.
For some reason we're in this place where this person's validation means more to us than we mean to ourselves. And when you say it out loud like that, it sounds, damn, that's fucked up.
But when you finally wake up to it, right? When you finally wake up to it, it's like, oh, yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
Right. And when you and it's like you, and there are ways that you can like, why can't I move past? Because I just didn't get it. Yeah. But when I got it, it's like, oh,
I might be a little slow, but guess what? We won't be repeating that lesson again.
Damn!
No,
sir. And then it's like, you almost get mad. Like, are you kidding me? We doing all this for this?
For this person?
So, a karmic soul contract, you guys. It can involve just like it can be come off as a very loving relationship, or more than likely, it's a relationship with very unhealthy boundaries.
Toxic.
Non-balanced relationship.
Yeah.
Toxicity. You're giving too much and not getting in return. There's always a chaser and a runner. A back and forth. Like, it's just a karmic soul contract. But the thing that even, because you think out loud to yourself, like, well, I could just, like, if this is what it is, then I could just walk away from it. That's the thing that makes it so interesting, is there is a pull to this relationship.
Yeah.
Because you, like,
especially if you have kids with them.
Well, it's not even that. I'm talking about, like, you could be have a karmic soul contract with a friend. You can have a karmic soul contract with a parent. I definitely think I had a karmic soul contract with my biological mother. Hands down. Absolutely.
Okay.
She was my first karmic soul contract. She did what she... So I think you could... It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. Just think about it. It's here to grow me, to expand me, to bring it closer to myself and whatever intention that I needed to have at that time in my life.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, because before we were doing this episode, I was like, so was my first marriage, was that a karmic soul contract? And we both came to the agreement that it was. But I'm using that as an example that after having kids with that person, it was really hard to step back, because it's like, okay, well, I know that
this is the father of my children. Like, what, girl, I honestly, I feel that on so many levels, because I do think that sometimes I'm just in the middle of that relationship, and when I'm really going through it, it's just like I feel like I will only allow myself to even believe so far of what was staring me in my face, because this is the father of my children.
Yeah, like, I hear you. Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? I have a whole beautiful ass, like, we have a family. What is going on? So, when times get rough, and it can feel like, as a parent, just kind of, as we say, piggybacking, continuing on with what Christy said, in those type of relationships, when you're trying to detach and let go and surrender to what is, it's hard to do that when you have a child with a person, because you feel like, I'm not just making a decision for myself.
Right.
So let me just say this to that, because you brought up a very good point, Kirsty. It's going to be hard for the parents. Don't come at me, mommies. I know y'all like to tussle, but hear me out. Your children have their own soul contracts. It is not for you to make decisions about your life that are best for your soul growth and soul expansion based on what you think they need. I promise you that they would have their own soul contract at that time. So if you're in a karmic relationship and you have children with the person, child, or whatever, and there is some tie that keeps you, you know what I mean? Do not use the children as an excuse when you know it's time for you to let go. And you will not get that lesson. You will stay stuck there. And guess what's going to happen? Your kids are going to grow up and start exercising their sovereignty as a soul to live out. And they're going to do something. And you're going to be like, I sacrificed for you. And they're going to be looking at you like, I didn't ask you to do that.
So I will share a little bit of my story.
Don't be mad at me, y'all.
Right. So
these are real.
Just sharing a little bit of my story. I knew that I was supposed to walk away. It took me 2 years to actually finally leave.
Girl, that's fast for a lot of people. Like,
right.
Time is time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I knew I needed to. And it was so hard to make the decision. And I thought like, okay, well, if something happens to me, what's going to happen with my kids?
Yep.
And I kept vacillating back and forth. But yeah, you have to make the decision as far as what's going to work best for you.
And honestly, at the end of the day, if you are in a relationship and have had children with someone that is a karmic relationship, that's probably a part or a piece of what lesson they came to teach you. You never know. You could have asked that karmic to trigger you so you can cure a mother wound. So walking away from that karmic allowed you to get back into your divine feminine so you can become the mother that you are really supposed to be, the parent. But when you half-ass in it and we are half in, half out, and trying to avoid what we came here to learn, your children aren't getting the best version of who you're supposed to be. They came in, you had to deal with your kids. Everybody, look, let me tell you what's about to happen. First 5-7 years of your life is gonna be a little rough, but I'm gonna get it together, and you know what I mean. And you become a part of their life. The first years of a child's life is when they set their foundation. It is their core. So if they are experiencing something traumatic through you in the relationship that you are in, that karmic relationship that you are in, guess what just happened? You're probably helping them with the karmic soul contract that they had with you. So everybody, you never know, and we can have different intentions. So if Christy is a karmic soul contract friend of mine, she's going to trigger me on one thing, but it may not be the same thing for her. I could be, I could be the villain in her story, and
I could be the villain in yours.
And she could, you know what I mean? And she could be the one who helps me stop being a villain. Do you know what I mean? Like, our intentions aren't the same, but we agreed to help each other. Do you know what I mean? Or vice versa. Whatever it is, it's just, so it's not necessarily the same thing. So yeah, and that's the thing, you guys. So I'm sorry. A karmic soul contract can come from this. This is, I thought, was very interesting. I was reading up on this, you guys. Your ancestors.
Oh, absolutely.
So when we talk about people doing ancestral healing, and for our beautiful kings and queens that are out there who are breaking generational and ancestral curses from their line, some or a lot of this is coming through karmic relationships. So think about that. Do you know how much of a warrior you got to be for your bloodline to take on the karmic relationships of your girl?
Or how special you are for them to be like, that's the one right there. That's the one that's gonna.
She gonna figure this. She got it.
Yeah.
Traumatic experiences obviously is another way. And here's another thing. Y'all ready for this? Living unconsciously. Woo, child. You wake up and you're in the middle of something. You're like, wait, what? I was just floating. And they're like, yeah, exactly. And next thing you know, you look up and you're like, oh, that's what this is.
Yeah.
So you might not recognize it. It's a karmic soul contract, because it's not like these people who come up to you and be like, hey, so I'm your karmic soul contract. Remember? Hey, girl. So I'm about to trigger the living hell out of you This is going to be so fun. Let's go. It don't work like that.
I'm about to make your life hell.
Oh, girl, you should have seen what we cooked up.
You're going to enjoy this one.
You're going to love this shit.
All these obstacles, get ready.
I'm about to, oh, Lord.
Start stretching.
I hope you moisturize. Drink a lot of water because you about
Make
to
sure
be
you get your
crying
meditation in.
ass off. It's going to be so fun.
Right.
That's not going to happen. You in the
Sorry.
middle of it. You're like, wait, what happened?
I got bamboozled.
Bamboozled.
Y'all know what she was trying to say. But honestly, like Mia was saying, karmic relationships, they don't just happen between lovers, but again, among family, friends, children, colleagues, ancestors.
For real.
Like, for real. I mean, there's...
Yeah. Ooh,
think about some of the karma...
I got some...
Okay, so this is... Okay, maybe this is going off tangent just a little bit. So... if we are all expected to work through our karma, and if we don't, we repeat it, then how are our ancestors able to pass that baton off to us to then work on their behalf?
They ask.
They're like, can she do this? Because we can't do it anymore.
Okay, this is just my opinion, guys. This is just my opinion, you guys. I think when we are working on karmic debt for our ancestors, it is something that we agreed to do. So let's just say you have an ancestor, and it's like, I need you to work on. I need to clear this up. My soul needs to feel this and learn this. And oftentimes, which is why we do offering for our ancestors, and we connect with our ancestors, because what we don't. One thing that we're forgetting is that we are allowing them to live through us, to feel this through us. So when we heal something, we're healing their soul too. But we agree to this. You know what I mean? You can say, oh, I do not consent. I'm not carrying your karmic debt. I got my own stuff. You can literally say that. Remember, you guys, I don't care who the ancestor is. You have sovereignty over your soul and your journey. This is your shit. You get to say what goes and what stays. But we have some people who are like, I want to be that person for my family. I need to be the one that breaks this and I free my children. You know what I mean? Because some things and think about it, any trauma that happens when you are a child, any trauma that happens to your parents while you are with them becomes a part of your trauma. And then that child has a child. That becomes a part of their trauma. So if nobody is stopping, and if these people if that soul does not wish to reincarnate, but they want to release this karma, or whatever it is, that we're just talking about karmic relationship because there's a lot of things you could do for your ancestors. But we're specifically talking about karmic relationships. When people take that on for their ancestral line, those are some very special people. And I'm sure when we agree to that, it's probably in our spiritual form before we come here, when we know it's all good, it's all good for us, it's for our soul expansion, growth is going to be fun. But we get here in 3D, we said, what? I agreed to do, wait a minute, what? Time out.
Show me my signature.
Show me the contract.
I don't believe it.
I don't remember. So, yeah, I think we take it on. Because you in your spiritual form, you remember that you have soul sovereignty and authority over your being, over this avatar here. You know that. You remember that.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question. So why do you think karmic relationships and twin flames can be confused?
Girl, I think. Okay, a twin flame. So we know what a karmic relationship is. It's a trigger. Okay?
To expand you.
The thing is, a twin flame connection feels intense and just as transformational. Because the purpose of a twin flame relationship is to help us with our spiritual integration and transformation. Where we remember, I am a spiritual being having a human experience out here. I chose to be here. I have things that my soul came to experience. So that a twin flame connection is like a mirror of yourself. So when we are reflecting ourselves to each other through a relationship for our growth, that can hurt.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, and because karmic relationships are triggering us again for our expansion and growth, and there's passion on both of these, sometimes the two can kind of go hand in hand, because you can have a karmic relationship that turns in that once you heal from the lesson, you're like, oh, that's not a karmic. This is a twin flame. Oh my God, how you get here?
Right.
Like what? So once you learn the lesson, and if it's your twin flame, so this is how we're gonna do another episode on twin flames, completely different twin flame soul contracts. If you are feeling like it's a karmic relationship, right, and you finally break free, like, okay, I get it. And you go into yourself and you figure out, like, oh my goodness, I really needed to learn how to love myself. Like, what the heck was I doing?
Man, that value.
This is me talking to myself for real, y'all. I'm being so real right now. I have literally said to myself, like, what? Where were you? It's like, when I think back now, I can remember very recently where I just went and hid. Like, a part of me was just like, this heifer's clowning. I literally cannot sit here and watch this. Like, and again, not in the middle of it, but when this lesson hits me in the face, I'm like, oh my God.
I remember that season too, where you were kind of.
It's like, it's right there. It's like, so something switches. So when you're in a karmic relationship and you get the lesson, if it's a karmic relationship and not a twin flame relationship, your vibration, your energy switches and changes, and that relationship just fades away because the contract has been fulfilled. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And if they did it right, you're like, you know what, when we get to the other side, I'm going to give you a bonus because you triggered the shit out of me, you motherfucker. But here I am.
Thank you.
Now, you learn the lesson, the karmic relationship, the lesson is learned, the karma is gone. You're walking free and you turn around and that motherfucker standing right there having learned a lesson too and expanded too, because they are your mirror. That's a twin flame relationship. So there's a difference between being in a relationship and having a karmic lesson and being in a karmic relationship. If your relationship is a non-stop roller coaster, up, down, in, out,
no breaks. I remember.
Girl, that shit
it was
is
always
the most
something.
Tiring. That is the most tiring.
I'm on an emotional
oh
roller
all
coaster.
the time. Like, when is it fucking peace? Like,
I went off this ride. Thank you.
It's like the piece is the shortest amount of time between each one, and then it's like a high. I'm just chasing that peace moment, because when we have that peace, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And then it's like it cuts you off, it catches you by surprise every time. It's like, God damn it, we're back. How? Because you're on that cycle, and until you understand, it's gonna keep going.
Okay, so let's get into how karmic relationships can help us grow, because I think the thing that I really want you all to focus on is that there is always light at the end of the tunnel. So
I promise. Come on, Christy, get into it, because I promise it's
okay, so let's talk about spiritual evolution. Those karmic relationships can help us grow. So in what way, Mia?
What'd you say? And what
spiritual evolution?
So, when you think about any karmic relationships that you have, and again, seriously, familial, friendship, romantic, when you think about who you were when you came out the other
completely different.
Exactly.
Completely different.
And you know, and here's the thing, because you guys, we got to think about it. Oh my God, how do we forget this? And this is so me talking to myself right now. Damn. Because when we come out of these things, we're completely different. That person may not be completely different, but you are. It's all of a sudden, it's like you have a better sense of knowing who the F you are.
Yeah. And then to deal with people who don't know who they are, it's like, oh, wait, no, I'm not doing this.
And so it's like, when I say your whole vibration changes, it changes. So you have evolved, and now you're vibrating at a different level.
Yeah.
Right? So you're I don't even want to say better, but we can look at it like better, but
more
it's
aware.
really that you're more of who you are.
Yeah, I'd say more aware.
You stop cutting off a piece of yourself. I mean, it is, and I can tell you guys, you finally find, and this can happen. Let's be and keep it funky. This can happen more than once in all type of relationships. But whenever you get to that lesson point, I have had a very particularly long, hard one. But when you get to the end of the lesson, first of all, it hurts like. That pain is felt in your soul. It's almost like I would rather you literally smack me upside my head. This pain is because it sticks. You can't shake this. And so when you get to that point, and that's when you know I got it, because I can't not unsee what I know. You know what I mean? I can't not feel what I feel. Yeah. That's when you know. But then here's the other side of that, right? Guess what? It damn near feels freeing, because you're like, fuck, at least I know I'm not motherfucking crazy. Because you will start to think you crazy.
No, I have been there.
It's like, okay, I got to be crazy. What is happening? You will start to think you are freaking losing your mind. But when you finally, it's like, oh my God, I get it. Dealing with, okay, and it helps you to move forward, because it's all, and then you start to have a different level of compassion. You're just like, oh my God,
just like they didn't know better. You were just
a Carmen.
You were just fulfilling your role.
Well, boy, baby, A+. Now get the fuck away from me.
I know. I will say too, I mean, this just made me think about the self-mastery, because we talk about this a lot in our episodes. Yes. This is why self-mastery is really important, because once you understand you, then you understand like the triggers, and then once you understand the triggers, then you take those triggers away so people can't trigger you, and that actually leads you into the whole soul maturity. Yes. You get to this place where it's like, man, I remember 2 years ago I would be in the corner crying, upset. Yes. You wouldn't answer my phone calls. Now,
girl, I'm about to jump off.
Now I am doing my own thing. I'm on rooftops drinking with my girls. I am out at museums by myself. I am doing nature hikes. I
feel good.
Living life, right? And at peace.
Yeah.
And then when you deal with that again, you're like, oh no, we don't do that. We don't do that.
Because you have fundamentally transformed. You are not the same.
You're not the same person.
It's different when you don't get the lesson. You're like, I'm done, blah blah blah. But it's still wounded.
Exactly.
When you have cleaned out that damn wound, and you are done, it doesn't even. It's like that was, man. Woo-hoo! Oh, you almost got me. Oh boy.
But I will say,
you almost got me.
Right. But I will say that for people who aren't accustomed to dealing with you where you are in the present,
they won't.
It's hard for them to adjust and to accept that you are a completely different person. You may have changed. They may have not have changed, but they still see you from the lens of you being that former person.
And to that I say, excuse my French fry, but let them fuck around and find out.
Because when they do, they're like,
I don't.
What happened?
Like, and that's another thing. Like when we talk, that for real. Like I for real don't care, because I refuse. After I know, and that's the thing.
All the work
that's
I've
how
done?
You know when you know, because you literally cannot. Like you are no longer able to engage in the same way, because you're just not that person.
I just don't. Like with my, and I think I shared this with you. Like with my, and I'll just say one of my relationships. I used to have triggers with this person where they would do something and I would fall into this whole other person. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me fix it. Blah, blah, blah. And then I got to a point where this was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I'm like, how long have I kept them blocked? Anyway, they decided one day they wanted to fuck around, and I let them find out. And I'm not one that blocks people. I don't do that. But this particular time, I was like, oh, we don't have time for this, because I'm in a place where I am peace. I'm at peace. I'm enjoying my life. I don't need this. No, so block. Welcome to the block party.
Girl, I don't see what the problem is with blocking people. I really don't. Like man.
If you overstep boundaries that I have set up and you are not respecting them, then you need to be on the block list.
Like, look.
Sorry, not sorry.
Block. Block extended. So as I was saying, I'm sorry, you guys. The thing is, karmic relationships, look at it as a doorway, as a portal into your soul's freedom. As terrible as they can feel. I mean, the just think, the more terrible it is, you are either taking a very long time learning this lesson, you're not getting it, and your spiritual team is like,
they're like, look, hit her against the head with 2 bottles.
Okay, fine, let's try this one again. Okay, because she's really, I told Chrissy, I said, girl, I know my spiritual team at one point had to be looking like, this little heifer
She is slow.
Dude,
she was on the short yellow bus.
She is like, you remember that toy as a clown? When you it's a blow up clown, and you would hit it and then just keep going back. I know that's my team was like, she's for real. Oh, you're not gonna stay down. You just gonna keep. I'm back up. I love you. I'm back up. Girl, I know my. Like, what do we have to do to
Deflator. Go ahead, and pop it.
You know what? Hand me that knife. No, she gonna get this today. Motherfucking day.
I'm tired of seeing the same thing play out.
Can you turn the channel? We got shit to do.
She has work to do.
Because the truth of the matter is, when I talk about a portal into your soul's freedom, is also, you guys, when you fundamentally change, or actually, I hate saying change because like you become something new. It's when you become more of who you already are.
Self-mastery.
That means new doors and chapters are opening for you. And it's like almost immediate because your energy, your vibration has changed, and you're finally going to be met where you are. But when you're in a karmic relationship, you're straddling the fence, and you cannot take this karma with you. It does not fit. Right. It does not go into this next phase with you. So until you stop straddling, you can't open that new door.
And
you
then
don't
can I say
what's
something
on the other
too?
side of that? Go ahead.
When you actually make the change, whatever that change is for yourself, where you actually step in and you're like, look, no more. Within that shift, that energetic shift, you also start attracting things to you. Opportunities, people, like healing. I mean, there's just so many things that you bring into your life when you do that. It's hard making that step. You just have to make that initial step. Like, you know what, this is for me.
And I mean, we're joking, but honestly, you guys, when you do transform, not only do you lose that karmic relationship, which is a good thing, but when you're no longer vibrating at a place where people are used to dealing with you, you will lose some friends too, because you've learned a huge lesson about who you are in your life, and you start looking around like, oh, no. Oh, hell,
Cross that off.
No. And it's just, and sometimes it feels so lonely, but you have to know, all this time, everything that you've been through, you are not alone. So you think that now that you got this lesson, you are alone. Allow yourself to integrate into the version of yourself who knows a little bit more about who the hell they are in this world and who they came to be. And when you start to vibrating more authentically as your spiritual self, as your divine self in this world, the things that come to you around, it's not even the same. Ladies, and gentlemen,
it's a better quality.
Who are attracted, it's different.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness. I mean, and like I said, I was emotionally unavailable, baby. And I mean, and I literally, I have no shame about it no more. I used to think this was a weakness of mine, but I truly wear my heart on my sleeve. Like, no, I got one on each eyeball. I got, like this, I'm a very heart-led person. So I allow myself, I say it like this now, but it wasn't like this before. I allow myself to fully feel the beauty and the pain of this. But I was attracting people who, I mean, I'm in the middle of the ocean. I'm deaf. These motherfuckers can't go past their knees. And I'm trying to, and so you don't want the people that you love to drown, so you go to the shallow end.
You compromise yourself.
Christy. Woo! That is some dangerous shit.
It really is.
We just keep committing treason against ourselves in the name of what we call love, but it's not love for you. So how can you love somebody so much when you even love your damn self? You're not vibrating in love. That's wounding. That's trauma.
Right. But when you do start vibrating at that level. Even though you will lose some friends, the shift will also show you who your real people are. Yeah. Like who those people who have your back, who are those people that support you no matter what.
And bring in more of your attractive vibrant. And it's almost like they've been waiting like, oh, finally! What? Oh my goodness, where have you been? Oh no! Why didn't y'all tell me?
Because if we told you, you wouldn't have done it.
Here's the thing. My team was like, but we did though. You remember? Here, open your journal. Open it. Like, no, I believe y'all. I believe we don't have to do this.
Oh yeah, it probably is in your journal.
Oh, what is it?
Journal 102, page 38.
They like, oh baby, exhibit. F, bring out the journal from 2016, 2017. Yes. Turn. Ah, right there. We told you then. Wait, go back. You want another one here? Turn. Oh, girl, what? And it was like, I was like, wait. And then I'm telling you, it almost becomes funny because you like, wait, y'all, for real, I was really that slow.
It was right in my face.
Yo, for real. I'm like, what in the purity? Mm-hmm. Okay. So anyway, so you guys, here's some signs that you are in a karmic relationship. Break them down, Chrissy.
You are irresistibly drawn to them. There's just something about them that you can't shake.
Why did my mouth just start?
I know.
Because I know that feeling.
There's this attraction, but it's interesting because it's more superficial than it is like deep. You experience that roller coaster of emotions, the up and the downs, the upside downs, and all of that constant drama. You just can't get away from it. There's always something. Oh, well, you got this phone call from this person, or why you want to have an attitude with me, or you didn't call me right back when you said. There's always something.
Wait. This one my favorite one. This next one, something feels off. Let me say, y'all, for real. You know that feeling. It's just like, and this is how a narcissist would get your ass, because you like I know it. This is your intuition. It's like I know I'm not crazy. I'm not fucking crazy, but because you don't have 10, prove it. Somebody said that to you. You know you're right. Prove it. Show me. Oh, okay. You just did. Thank you.
Thank you.
But when you feel something's off, and
I've had that many times.
But you're with somebody and you love them, or you know what I mean. It's like you don't want this friendship to end, and you're like, I can't tell you how many times I'm like, man, I got to be tripping. There's literally no way. Like, come on, girl, your imagination is a little wild right now. Go sit your butt down. Him. Come on, that's not gonna happen. But you can't shake the feeling. You might could get rid of it for a couple minutes, but it's something, and it could be it's just like you could. I can't. Yeah.
Like that nagging in the back of your head. Like there's just something I can't.
And here's another one. You don't feel safe.
Oh, been there. Been there, done that.
Okay, yeah, I'm for real getting into it. One of the ways one of the signs definitely that I felt the off thing, the roller coaster. But this next one, when I say you don't feel safe, I couldn't sleep. In his house. I couldn't sleep in his house no more. Could not sleep. And I was just like, and it's not safe as in, I'm not talking about like how you feel like somebody's going to beat you or anything. It's just, I do not feel protected.
Yeah. Because when you were in those spaces, you can let all of your guards down. Yep. You can just relax.
I don't feel protected.
Yeah.
I don't, girl.
Can I do this next one?
Go ahead, girl. Oh, yeah, I know, yes.
If you all have been listening to this podcast, you know that I enjoy this. The sex is amazing. Off the chain. And, okay, not only is the sex amazing, the makeup sex is off the chain. That's the whole dramatic, like I'm about to rip your clothes off. We're about to wrestle over the couch to the floor, up the stairs to the bed, like, yes, that. And then just again, like I said earlier, the experiencing of the roller coaster of emotions. You are repeating these cycles and patterns
the loop
over and over.
I mean, I honestly have said in the middle of it, is this how you know? It's like it's like you're open up to it. It's like I have said this is insane. This is what we are doing is insane. Like this is what's going to happen. We're going to be fine, and then this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and this happens. Like nigga. Excuse me, y'all. What?
When you can start putting out the patterns, you're like,
This is ridiculous.
something's not right.
But for some reason, you're like, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep doing this? Like I see it. I know it. What the hell is going on?
Sometimes we chase,
I'm crazy. I'm losing it.
Sometimes we chase that high, though.
That high.
Yeah. Then, the communication issues.
Trash. Communication.
Gaslighting,
That
like,
trash
I didn't say that. Wait, you actually did say that. No, I didn't.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
So then you're over there thinking, like,
why
wait,
you bringing
maybe...
up stuff from the past.
Right. It's not
That
about what I did. We're
gaslighting?
talking about you right now. This isn't about me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that gaslighting.
Oh, my goodness.
Anytime you try to hold someone accountable or point out, like, hey, what's going on?
No, this is about you.
It's either you will never get a response. Never! It's going to be like, man, here, this is what I'm talking about. Here we go. Well, I ain't say nothing when 7 years ago. You were like, what? Nigga, we talking about today. You know what? You about to piss me off. I don't even want to hear this. It's like, you gaslighting ass, narcissistic ass, sociopath.
I'm never calling you again. Please don't ring, ring, ring.
Yes.
Hey. I thought you said you weren't going to call anymore.
Like, yeah, like for real, y'all. These are some signs.
Yes.
Like, let me tell you something. I know there's some people are like, ooh.
Goes into the next.
Yeah, I'm like, hope you're not sitting next to the Karmic while you listening.
Whoops. Blink twice if you need some help.
Call us, sis.
Right. DM us. Anger and rage. Man, I used to live in this space. I used to live there.
Really?
I mean, just some of the stuff. When I found out, okay, I'm just going to share this quick story. I found out this dude, he was telling his parents that I was the one spending the money when he was going to strip clubs. He got arrested. So my father has, he is a professional photographer. He knows everyone in the city. So he asked, well, do you want to know or you want me to find out what happened this particular weekend when he was missing or came home late? Yes, please. Found out that dude was arrested.
At a strip club?
At a strip club. Mm-hmm. Not to mention that he had sex with a stripper, but that's a whole nother story.
Is that why he got arrested?
No, indecent exposure.
Because he had his thing-a-ling out.
Mm-hmm.
He had sex. You got caught with your thing. Dude, can you... God, okay. Wait,
so the whole anger and rage, yeah. I lived there. And not not feeling safe, not feeling protected. The communication, oh my goodness. All of that will bring out the worst in you.
I was about to like that right there.
All of it. I used to, and I'm not the type of person that checks phones, but I used to be like, okay, well, who is this call? What's that from?
Girl, I never want to go back to that. Like,
I don't.
No, Christy.
Having them come home at like 6, 7 o'clock, and then seeing the direction that he was coming from, putting these stories, like taking pieces of the puzzle. Like, no, if you said that you came from your friend's house, he's downtown. You came from the opposite direction.
I'm about to throw my chair.
And just like,
girl, you are making.
I don't like being that person.
Never go.
No.
You can't.
Because guess what?
I'm
just like, okay. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. But guess what? Don't get upset when I do it too.
See, and my goofy butt, I didn't live in anger and rage.
Whew.
I was. Here's the. Heart on sleeve now. I stayed in fear and sadness, just trying to mask. But when I finally got to anger and rage, Jesus Christ, apocalyptic. I didn't live there, but and I'm keeping it funky. It would take me a minute. A good, and then when I finally is like, and I'm talking about the worst of me. Now, I would think that back then, but now I'm like, no, that's just my dark feminine said, bitch, we tired.
Well, and so that's the thing too. Like, I think
tired.
A lot of people may look at me like, oh, Christy's really chill. She's cool, doesn't want problems, whatever. Honestly, I believe all of that comes from dealing with all that shit in the beginning. Yep. Being angry, being upset, always being like, ooh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there anymore. I really don't.
And here's another one. Like, you guys,
it's draining.
It's like when I I used to say, I'm exhausted. And I could not, like, I was
mentally,
exhausted,
emotionally,
because it's like
physically.
nothing makes sense. It's like when you said this, but then we did this, and then everything was fine. And then it was like, huh? But then, wait, did I say that? No, what? And it's like that puzzle piece shit. but wait, you said that so and so was the girl.
And then when you can't take someone's word as truth anymore, and then you got to take these pieces and put them together to create the real story of truth. That's exhausting.
I said what I said.
Right, it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
I think these next two are kind of in the same thing, because we were talking about compromising and stuff. Mm-hmm. Your morals and your values are tested.
Oh my goodness!
And to keep
yes.
it funky, I failed a lot. They are tested, and I got a few F's on those. But this is the one. This is the one that got me.
I've done some crazy shit,
baby. This self-sabotage
and
this
self-destructiveness.
Shit. Woo! I think when you hear Jay laughing when this is the self-destructive thinking patterns and beliefs, like this still to this like right like it's like a tennis ball in my throat. This was the hardest thing that I had to forgive myself for, because it was like, damn, man, like what where were you? Like I literally, where were you? Where did you go? What happened? And then it's like these decisions that you're making, and you're thinking that you're making it out of love or companionship or family or loyalty or honor to some code that ain't you. Your loyalty and honor is to yourself.
Right. Always.
For real. Like that was the hardest one. That was the hardest one.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like damn, Mia. That is like, yeah, that happened, but so like, you knew, like, literally, yeah, I did. And you just, I convinced myself of something to make myself feel better at the moment, but the thing is, it never lasts.
It really doesn't.
It lasts about a good 24 hours.
And like those 2 years that I mentioned that I stayed in that relationship when I knew I should have left, that does something to you energetically too. Like, I feel like you are undermining your divinity. Like, you say that you are committing treason to yourself. Like, and it is so true. Like, those
divine throne. Ooh, girl. Treason.
Don't do it.
Behead her. Get out of here. Off with her head.
Right. But we've all been there. And it can also create this one-sided codependency. You'll find that things begin to stagnate. Yep. You have this, oh my gosh, intense desire for answers. Let me show you this story. So I had a feeling in one of my relationships that dude was fucking around. I got so desperate for answers. I went to a psychic on the south side, knocked on their door, and she gave one look to me. She was like, I'll help you, but go and get me a cake. Bring me a cake. Okay, whatever you need. What kind of cake? When you see the cake, you will know it. Bring it to me. So I'm out. It had to have been like 8 o'clock at night. Went out to the store looking for, going up and down the aisle, see a cake. That's the cake!
Wait, please tell me what type of cake this was.
It was like a cheesecake cream with strawberries. And like a white cake, I think.
Oh, like a strawberry shortcake cake or something like that? Okay, go ahead.
But I was like, that's the cake. So I went and brought it to her. She took it from me. And she gave me this, like, trashy-ass greeting.
Why you call it trashy?
Because it was.
Did she give you the real, though?
She did. She was like, you already know the answer. So I done got someone a cake to tell me some shit I already knew, when all I should have done was just tapped into my inner knowing, which I didn't, because I didn't trust myself.
Oof,
went to this person. Not only did I pay for my reading, but I also paid for this damn cake that she said I needed to give her. I thought it was this mystical thing I had to bring. I got pimped into getting her this cake, but I knew how he was. So why did I need to go through all of this?
You said I thought it was a mystical. You got pimps for your cat.
I got pimps. I got pimps. P-I-M-P. You will know the cake when you see the cake. Okay.
If you ever want something that sounds mystical, it's like, hey, give me. You'll know it when you see it. Like, ooh.
And I'm like walking down the aisle. Is this the cake? Is this the cake? And I see this cake, and it's like, that's the cake.
Oh, life is so fun.
It really is. Never again. Never again.
Oh,
ever.
My goodness. Oh, girl. Oh, thank that woman. I appreciate it. Girl.
Pimped. I got pimped. I got deboed for a cake.
Okay,
and that's the thing. Like, not only, I mean, yes, you have this intense desire. I was desperate. I was desperate to have the truth that I knew validated. I was desperate for it.
Okay, I got one for you. This another sign is you don't want to know the answers.
Oh, not me.
I blocked my intuition so much because I was like, I felt like if I just stopped 1 second and stopped asking questions I already knew the motherfucking answer to, that I would know everything that I need to do. I did not want to believe it because it was so freaking egregious and disrespectful. I'm just like, no. Like, no. It has to be some. So I blocked my intuition.
I think we do that.
I mean, I blocked. It was like, and then I provide an opportunity. Please tell me something else. Give me a story that's gonna make me feel like there's no way. Because it's like, if this is it, that I for real don't even know who the hell you are. Like, you know what I mean? So like this. So it's either you gotta know or you don't want to know.
And I will say, in those situations, we can we can shift our perspective to create the reality that we desire. So instead of acknowledging, okay, this dude may be seeing other women, no, what he's doing is he's working multiple jobs, and so he's just not available to me when I really want to be with him. I mean, and we'll believe it.
Oh, absolutely.
We will absolutely believe it. We will create these stories that then becomes our reality. It's this false reality that we're living out. But then there's this sense where it's like something does not feel right.
And it won't go away.
It won't go away. Yeah, I'm still trying to play this story in my head. Don't do it, y'all.
Don't. So, all right. So how do you get over a karmic relationship?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Oh, we're over an hour too.
Oh shoot! See, this is why I told you this got to be 3 different episodes. Okay, how do you get over a karmic relationship? So, learn the damn lesson.
Yeah.
Like that is the only way that this karmic relationship or pattern. Because even if you get through it, this y'all hear me. This is a very important piece. If you leave the relationship, but you have not learned the lesson, you will repeat this damn lesson. You might even go back to that person, back to that relationship,
or with someone else,
learning this lesson, or with somebody totally different, until you get the damn lesson. It's gonna keep
it doesn't
happening.
feel good, you all. Just learn the lesson the first time.
If y'all learned the first time, can y'all send me some notes?
send the cliff notes, please. On how to learn the lesson the first time.
Because Chrissy, you said it took you 2 years. I don't even want to tell you how many years it took me. I'm not even gonna say that number out loud. I don't even want to disrespect myself like that. I'm saying 2.
It took me 2 years to leave, but I would say I stayed. I mean, stuff was happening in the relationship. I'd say at least after 2 years that we got married. So, 2007. So 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
5 years I was in the relationship and stuff was going down all the time. Like, dude was.
It's like this. This is like when we get out of it, we don't see it while we're in it because it's our reality.
Man.
This is like my life. This is my day-to-day. It's my life. You get to the other side, you're like, what?
Dude was
Where
wild.
was I?
Dude was wild. And I was like, why would you even accept that? Disappear in the middle of the night, take my car, leave his cell phone so I couldn't get a hold of him, have no idea who he was. And I was okay with it. Yeah,
then you bring it up and then it's an argument and then it's
right.
like, I don't feel like arguing. I just want some peace, so you don't
But
say
then
anything.
I'm the one that's wrong,
Yep.
or I'm the one that becomes the villain. So I'm
y'all know this. Y'all know the cycle. You know how it goes.
Yeah, the cycle there. Oof. Oof.
So, you guys, for real, like,
Learn a lesson, y'all.
understand the only way to get out of it is learn a lesson, because what will happen is the relationship is extremely unhealthy for you. So you can't release the idea that you're like supposed to be with this person forever. So you're like, these are just bumps in the road, it's fine. But when it's like literally at a point where you are self-discharging, self-sabotaging, all these things that we went through, compromising yourself, and it, like, you have to end the cycle. That's the only way you can do this. And it's never about them. Don't get mad at me.
It's about you.
It's about you. Let me tell y'all something. Like, I'm speaking this from my soul. Please hear me. I have been there when you're like, they're going to get it. Yeah, I mean, I'm almost laughing at myself right now. But this is so, like, no, like, my love is going to be enough. They're going to get this. Like, they're right there. I can see it. I can see you with someone's potential. Because sometimes you are who you are, and when who you are can see the God in people. And I know for a fact that I see God in people. I can see the God in people. I don't care who you are. I can see it in you. But when you are in a relationship and you are with the God in that person, and not the karmic that's in front of you, you are playing yourself.
Right.
It's never about them. It's not about if they're going to get it. It's about if you're going to get it. When the hell are you going to get it? Because we would stay around hoping they're going to change and they're going to get it.
Oh, I've said it several times.
You know what I mean?
I used to say, oh my gosh, love will change it all.
It's not about them.
Love will change this. Love will shift it.
When you going to get it? Like that. And so that's how you get over the come. Like, cut the cord, all of that. You can do, let me tell y'all something. You can do whatever cord cutting ritual you want to do, burning ritual, seance. I do not care. If you don't learn the lesson that you came here to learn, you are going to repeat it. Period, point blank. Like I said, you can get rid of the person, but if you got the lesson, and who the hell wants to deal with that over and over and over again? And then you leave the person and steal again. No, nobody wants to do that.
No.
And so, go ahead, Christy, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and I've been kind of popping in self-mastery in here too.
Yeah.
Like through self-love and self-forgiveness. I think the self-forgiveness is the hardest part, because I had to sit down with myself and ask, why would I give so much power to this person over me, who's beating me down, who's not building me up, who is cursing me out every single day? Why would I allow that to happen to myself? Or why would I even allow myself to be in that situation? And I had to forgive myself. Like, Christy, I forgive you. And that was hard. It took me years to be able to get to that. I forgave him before I forgave myself.
Which
is crazy.
Real quick.
Like, okay,
I just, like, it's so easy I just posted about that. It's so easy for us to forgive people, and the way we do ourselves is so, we truly are all karmic if we really, you guys, so hopefully you understand, if some of this is resonating, you're just like, dang, I might be in a karmic relationship.
I just might.
So here are, like, because you guys, these conversations that we have on air are healing for us, and we hope that it's healing for you. So if this has hit a chord with you, for real, and you were trying to figure out how to get back to yourself or remember more of who you are, for real, you guys, what we're going to do in this Divine Feminine Retreat in Michigan, go to the website, you guys, or check out 2queensandcrystalthings.com, or check out IG at 2queenscrystalthings.com. We have a women's retreat, Awaken and Activate, Activation Retreat, September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And we're really going to tackle some of these issues with our soul tribe. So,
Right.
ladies, we really hope to see you there. And when I tell you, we know, we feel, we understand,
Yes.
and honestly and truly, this is about getting back to you. It never has any. It's always
about you.
It's always about you.
And something really special that I'm really excited about this portion. I'm excited about the entire agenda, like the entire weekend, but something that I'm really excited about is the cacao circle.
Yeah.
So we're going to be working with, she is a heart opener. We're working with cacao medicine, and this will be...
Brisa?
Yes, with Brisa. This will be an opportunity for you all's hearts to be open, and so much is going to be revealed, and you're going to start seeing and feeling some things. I think this will be really good.
And you're surrounded by a collective
Right.
of divine feminine women.
And you're protected and safe.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's a couple of ways, real quick,
Yes.
to let's shoot these off, to how to let go of a karmic relationship. And this is fun. Reach out to others for mental, emotional, and spiritual support. Come to the workshop.
Yes,
you
come
guys.
to the
But
workshop.
seriously, we are not meant to do this by ourselves. And
Right.
y'all, this one's a hard one for me because
I'm the same.
Girl, I will hermit so fast. I
Yeah.
would disappear. But bye. But we're not meant to do this alone. So we're literally programmed to seek out help and to comfort and to be able to build with each other. So that's why your tribe is so important.
It's so important.
Make a decision on how you would say goodbye. What's the healthiest and swiftest way of bidding them farewell? Okay, so let me say this. I saw this on an IG post. The disrespect was the closure. Okay?
That was it. Bye-bye.
That was the... Hey. I then got caught up in the closure cycle before, too. The disrespect, the lying was the closure. Did not give a fuck about my feelings was the closure. What else do you need?
And I think we all need to remember that, again, this is not about them. This is about us.
Yes.
And that's something that we have to keep coming back to.
It's
Like,
not
don't
about
feel bad. Don't feel guilty.
Right, and don't feel like, oh, I'm about to show this.
No.
It's like when I tell you for real, unless it's like, oh, I get, this don't have nothing to do with you. I'm out. And sometimes it's like, I don't even have to explain. Like, and how dare you even form your mouth to ask me why why are you acting like that? You know good and goddamn well. You just don't know that I finally figured it the fuck out. That, I have been cursing my ass off today. That's the part. Stop playing with me. You know exactly why I'm acting like this. You just don't know that I know yet.
Right.
You think I'm still over there. Her not there no more. Her left.
I'm not the slow one anymore. I finally got it.
I got it. Ding, ding, ding. They're like, oh. Girl, I'm not saying they were like, woo.
Wiping the sweat.
Like, oh my goodness, she worked us out.
This was the hardest
This girl, she just kept getting punched in the mouth and just kept popping back up. I'm gonna tell you, for your own, this is just my suggestion. Send whatever it is that you are releasing with love. It's because I'm not even
gratitude.
mad anymore. Because
Yep.
when you realize that what you are doing is a soul contract that they agreed through, this must, like, you really get to the point. You're like, first of all, thank you. And this doesn't even have to be a conversation. I'm like, I'm grateful for the opportunity that you provided to me through your assholeness to learn how to truly love myself and understand that my presence, my mere energy is a motherfucking gift.
And guess what? You're not even my type anymore.
Like, it's just like, so thank you for the opportunity to expand
Right.
and get more into my God self. Like, for real. Like, so it's because I'm telling you, this person, these karmic relationships were likely your best friends in other relationships or in the spiritual world. It's like they agreed to hurt you for your own good before you got here. Now, mind you, they forgot and you forgot. So all of that doesn't mean nothing when you act in a total ass. But when you allow yourself to get still enough, you like, damn, you really did that, huh? Okay. And so thankful, be grateful to yourself, and then loving yourself. Meditate, y'all. Listen to some healing meditations.
Get into
Y'all doing some
yourself.
breath work.
Get some energy work done too. Sometimes going through these type of
Yes.
things can throw your energy off, especially if you've spent so many years compromising yourself, compromising your morals and values. It kind of throws us off. So try and get some energy work. Sometimes even getting a reading will be helpful. Like
I was gonna say, actually, specifically with karmic relationships, oftentimes they're past life situations, right? And so Akashic records are basically
Yeah, I was
your
gonna
book
say
of life, the book of your soul's journey. So getting an Akashic record reading, when you're like, this might be a karmic, there's something to this, getting an Akashic record reading, you guys, is a good way to find out, like, what karma are you carrying from this soul, from your soul's path and lifetimes before that is manifesting itself in this life. And sometimes that provides you a lot of clarity, like, oh, this makes so much sense. This is what I'm dealing with. So it provides you an opportunity to get closer to your healing and really understand what it is that you're going through. And I do Akashic record readings.
yeah,
you
so
guys.
reach out to Mia for that. Look, I might quickly ask her to pull a card before I head home. Like,
So
I
let
need
me-
you to tell me what's up.
So no, seriously. So you guys, and honestly, with karmic relationships, but even if you're someone who does not believe in reincarnation, at the very least, please allow yourself to look at karmic relationship as an opportunity for you to grow. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, just look at it like, if you don't believe in karma, no, this type of relationship, I don't care what name you put to it, but what we described, allow it to happen. We can skip that.
Okay.
So, so that's it, you guys. So those are some way
What's your takeaway?
learn the lesson.
Learn
And
the
don't
lesson.
judge yourself, you guys.
Yeah.
Because I judged. I had a little minute, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on, I'm over this shit.
We're done with that.
I was
Okay,
like,
next.
because I held on long enough. Okay, I get it. All right, but no, seriously, learn the lesson.
Yeah.
Allow, and it's gonna feel so good. It's gonna feel so. It's gonna. It might sting just a
It'll
little bit.
sting, but once you step back and you realize, okay, I'm learning something from this. Let me step back from this large picture and figure out what is it that I'm getting from this. What am I learning? What am I being taught? What is surfacing that I need to deal with?
And one other thing, I know I said it, because I want you guys, because we're going to do an episode on twin flames exclusively, but I know they look alike sometimes, but here's the thing, even if it is a twin flame relationship, still do what you need to do to learn a lesson, and that may be that you have to let go. But how you would know that person is a karmic or a twin flame is once you have evolved, got your lesson, and you are vibrating another level. When you turn around and they're still there, that's a twin flame relationship. Because they're mirroring your energy.
Right.
But if it's a karmic, they will. I
hope you
it's
all are
almost
taking
like
notes.
they're not even there. It's like they would just slide away. You're like, dang, this person used to be like my whole life. It's like,
Who?
You will know. That's how you will know.
What?
So regardless of whether it's a twin flame relationship or a karmic, the point is to learn your lesson.
Yeah, learn that
For you.
lesson.
Okay.
That is it, you all. Thank you for tuning into this episode. We really appreciate it. And, feel free to send us a message. DM us if this resonates with you. Post underneath our post once this goes live. Let us know how you're feeling, if you've dealt with this, or if there's anything, if you need some guidance. But, yes, thank you all for listening.
Thank you. We love you.
Light, peace, love,
and soul.
Bye.
Bye, guys.